All right, back in on the early edge. I'm Eric Casillas. Here's the Wednesday NBA play-in games. That'll be tomorrow. So the 2 West games are tonight, the 2 East games tomorrow night. And again, if you're wondering why it's set up this way, we'll get used to it eventually, but not everybody understands it right out of the gate. 7 and 8 play. Winner is the 7 seed. If you win, if you're the Sixers or the Heat, you just make the playoffs. If you lose, you drop down and play the winner of 9 and 10 for the final spot. So, Bulls-Hawks is an elimination game. You lose, you're out. You win, you get one more chance. So the Hawks and the Bulls have to win 2 to make the playoffs. Heat-Sixers make the playoffs unless they lose 2. And you see Sixers 4.5-point favorites, Bulls 3.5-point favorites. Totals radically different, 206.5 in that first one, 220.5 in the second one. All right, everybody in the pool, I'm Eric Casillas, Larry Hartstein, Mike McClure, Tim Doyle. Let's go Heat, let's go Sixers. I like these 2 better than I like the West 2. I'll be interested to see what you guys have to say. Let's start with you, Timmy D. What do you like with the Heat and the Sixers in Philly?
I'm going to take the Heat here plus the points. I think the points could end up being the difference. In the matchups this year between these 2 teams, every single one of their matchups was in single digits, 6, 7, 8, so close game. And, we've been waiting all year for the Heat to flip the old switch. And here's the deal. I'm a racetrack guy, okay? I used to go to the track. There'd be guys there, great nicknames, Johnny the Mustache, Mikey Northfield, Bobby Van, and we would get the old program out, and past performances show the Heat in the postseason, pretty good, right? Jimmy Butler's 35 years old. He can't bring it all regular season, although he did shoot a career high from 3 this year. Here's the deal. Trust. You have to say it out loud. Do I trust the 76ers? Oof. Right? We've seen this movie in the postseason. I know they're great with Embiid, and Embiid's going to win the MVP, but is he really at 100%? You just feel like if Miami gets in, look out, and everybody, and I repeat, everybody wants the 2-7 matchup instead of the 1-8. So they are going to go all in to win this game. Give me the Heat plus 4.5. Hammer time. Love them in this spot.
Timmy, Joel Embiid looked pretty good in the 5 games that he played. All Philly wins, 30 points, 9 boards, 50% from the field, 10 free throws a game. And there's a reason the Cavs tanked that last game of the regular season. They don't want to play the 76ers, who are basically as good as anyone in the East, maybe outside of the Celtics. 8 straight wins coming in, great moves at the trade line. Melton is healthy. I don't think the Heat have the magic this year like last year. I'm going to lay the points.
And I'm going to look at the total here, guys. I typically look to unders in these spots, but I actually like the over in this one. I think the market's moved a little too much down to 206.5. I made the number 209, which is right where the market opened. It's a very low number in the NBA, but what Larry mentioned kind of stood out. It's Joel Embiid. He's been absolutely fantastic, and he's basically able to get to the foul line at will. I think this is going to be a very competitive game, one that both teams desperately want to win. I think it features a lot of free throws in the second half of this one. And like Tim mentioned, I think it's going to be very competitive, likely a 1-possession game here overall. So I think overtime is absolutely in play, but definitely a lot of points in the final few minutes of this one. Let's go over 206.5.
I usually play unders, and I try to find unders in all the sports that we do, but this one crunched as an over that I like a lot. First of all, Jimmy Butler is an offensive demon when he plays against the Sixers. He is 28-8-6 against them when you look at his numbers last year in the playoffs and over the last 2 years, pretty consistent. And Joel Embiid, not only are they 31-8 when he plays, but tell me why, right? Don't tell me what, tell me why. What doesn't help a gambler? Why helps a wagerer? When he plays, they score more than 10 points a game higher than without him, and they give up more when he plays as opposed to when he doesn't play. So the Sixers actually score and give up more with Embiid than without him, and Jimmy Butler plays great on the offensive end against the Sixers, and they haven't adjusted the total accordingly. It's still a very manageable 206.5 OVER Heat Sixers. That's one of the ones I really like. I also like this one. Hawks, Bulls. in Timmy Doyle's home city of Chicago. Well, I mean, where he lives now. He's a Long Island boy, where he grew up, little Timmy Doyle. I love the pictures he always shows. 4 foot, 9 inches taller than everybody else in little bitty basketball, dunking on future accountants. There he was. What do you like tonight with the Hawks and the Bulls?
Thanks for picking on me. I didn't know this was going to be a therapy session, but yes, I was 6 foot in 6th grade, and Larry and Mike, I still had 12-year-old emotions, okay? I was scared of the thunder. I would jump in bed with my parents, and they'd be like, dude, you're like a grown man jumping in bed with us, okay? So thanks. Let me get that off my chest, all right? I'm in Atlanta because I'm on the call tonight of the Western Conference playing games, okay? Here's what the Hawks are. I was thinking about this game, and I was thinking about when I travel back home, I have this conversation with my lovely wife of 11 years often, okay? Because, I'll be putting in some plays, maybe betting a little aqueduct, a little gulf stream. And she says this to me, and this is so true about the Atlanta Hawks. She goes, you're here, but you're really not here, right? And that's what I feel like the Hawks are doing. Like, they're going to show up to play basketball, but it's not very good basketball. Like, every time they have a win, you're like, all right, no. Now they're going to turn it around. Because on paper, they're pretty good. But when they're there, they're not very good. I'm not laying 3.5 with the Bulls. I'm going to take the Bulls on the money line here. If the price is too high, maybe you want to throw it in a parlay. I just don't trust the Hawks. I trust my wife, all right? I trust me. We're doing fine, okay? The therapy is working. Things are going well. I'm trying to be more present when I'm home, okay? But I'm going to go Bulls money line here. And, let's keep the people of Chicago happy. Let's do it.
Timmy, I don't trust either of these teams, and the only guy I really trust on the court is DeMar DeRozan because he gets the ball every single time down, he isolates, and he either hits one of those mid-range or he gets to the foul line. He's averaging 31 points a game this month. He's averaging 41 minutes this month, and that's who they're going to ride, and the Hawks don't have Sadiq Bey to stop him, so I think it's going to be a lot of DeMar DeRozan over 29.5 points.
I like that play, Larry. It's definitely going to be a lot of DeMar DeRozan, and that speaks to the style of basketball that Chicago plays. In a playoff one game like this, it's very hard for that team to blow anybody out, which is why I think you have to take Atlanta when you're getting over a full possession in an NBA game, just the way you can score at the end of the game. And when you look at the scores on the court, like, is it going to surprise anyone if Trae Young makes 6-7 threes here, or Bogdanovich is hot off the bench, or for this Hawks team? I think that the Bulls are the better team here. I think they should be favored on their home floor like this, but I don't think it should be up over a full possession considering the style of basketball that they play. Don't like either one of these teams, but when you're giving me over a full possession, I've got to take the points here with the Hawks.
I'm going to the Hawks team total. I'm going under 109.5 in this one. I try to find unders, and I find value here. Pace for the Bulls, 24th. And if you look at it, if they were even just a little slower, they'd be like 29th. So it's not like 24th, but like 12 to 24 is about the same. They're actually at the higher end of the cusp, and they're really a slow paced team. Also, their guards, that guard room is the best defensive guard room, or second best, maybe third at the worst in the NBA. Their guards play D. So their defensive strength goes right into where Atlanta wants to score the basketball. So I'm going to be able to dig in at home, playing D the way I want to play, strength on strength, with a slow-paced game. And you got to get to $110 in what'll be a playoff environment and a playoff whistle. I expect the pace to be even slower, that defense to be allowed to do even a little more, and I like the Hawks under 109.5 as a team total in this one. All right, let's get everybody up and see what they're doing here. So we want to recap this so you can see what our guys like. Larry and Timmy will go head-to-head on the Heat and the Sixers. All right, and you see the Hawks plays there, plus with Mike. Timmy will go Bulls money line. So, we do have some head-to-heads, kind of. The only true head-to-head, that Heat-Sixers head-to-head with Larry and Timmy. And I like over in one game and team total under in the other.